back to the Andujo Boxing Review with me, Daniel El Pantera, and Mr. Popeye Boxing himself. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming rematch with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, which is a very exciting fight. We'll be talking a little bit about what happened in the first fight. So here's to Popeye.
Well, June 1st of this year, you had the first fight between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. Joshua was supposed to come in with the big bang, if I'm not mistaken, to take over the heavyweight boxing also in the United States. And that kind of backfired on him because instead of becoming his debut in the U.S. soil, it became his biggest nightmare. Right? He was supposed to originally fight Miller. Miller tested not once, twice, but 3 times positive for using steroids. So the fight was canceled. And then came in the replacement, Andy Ruiz. Mm-hmm. So not many people have heard of Andy Ruiz. And a lot of the commentators, even ours, saying, I hadn't heard of Andy Ruiz. Famous football players, ex-boxers such as Mike Tyson said, I'd never heard of Andy Ruiz. And I remember me and you having a conversation before this when I found out that Andrew Ruiz was actually going to replace Andy Miller. And I told you myself, this is actually going to be a tougher fight for him than actually Miller. Because I had followed Ruiz for a long time. And I knew what he was bringing to the table. I knew that even though, as a lot of commentators would say, he wasn't body beautiful, I knew that he was fast. I knew he had a really great background, amateur background. I had seen his fights previous to that and his fight with Parker when he went to New Zealand to fight Parker. He lost a controversial decision. I thought he won. He didn't get it, but that was his only loss.
Yeah. And
ironically, most of Joshua's fights haven't gone to distance. Not even with Klitschko. He was stopping. Pretty much he had all KOs until he fought Parker, and he went 12 rounds with Parker. So they both had something in common prior to fighting.
Yeah.
So he went to distance with Parker. He couldn't knock him out. And Ruiz had lost a controversial fight. So that kind of tells you how competitive of a fight it was going to be. Like they had something kind of similarity there.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, styles always make fights, and look what happened. Joshua beat Parker, but look what Ruiz did to Joshua. So, I think the rematch is going to be the same. I think I'm calling that Ruiz is still going to be too fast, throwing too many combinations for Joshua. And I think maybe it'll be more of a competitive fight because Joshua does have power, and he did knock down Ruiz in the first fight. But I think it's going to be a good fight, bottom line, but I think Ruiz is going to be able to edge it out again. I think he's going to be too fast for him, still throwing too many combinations, still too active for Joshua. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in agreement that it's going to be a very competitive fight. There's a lot of aspects to boxing, though. So I think that in the first fight, there was so much going on that could affect the boxer, mentally. And I really believe that something bothered Joshua mentally in the first fight. I'm not giving excuses. Like, I was raving when we had our first Mexican champion because we've never had a heavyweight of Mexican descent, from Mexico. So, I knew that he had a chance to win. I wasn't sure if he was going to win, but my heart was for Ruiz to win. And you know what? He won. And my heart's still for him to win. But I will honestly say that I don't think Joshua was there 100% mentally for that fight. One, because of the controversy with Miller, testing, negative for steroids. So that kind of got in the way. And then also the pressure of making his debut in the United States. I think that had to take a little bit of toll on him, as well as the different climate. So I don't know how soon he came to the U.S. or how many days he was here to kind of get adjusted to the different climate. But I'm just saying there's just a bunch of different things that could have gone wrong because to me, it looked a little peculiar because he got into the ring. And even as the commentator was announcing the names, he looked way over relaxed and his arms were already in the ropes. Kind of like when they stopped the fight, you know, how he was kind of reluctant to come out, like his hands were resting on the ropes.
Yeah.
That's kind of how he started the fight, with his hand on the ropes. So, I don't know. It was just kind of weird. I'm not saying he wasn't 100%, but I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of aspects in boxing, and maybe he really wasn't there mentally 100%. Physically, obviously, he was. But not to take nothing from Andy Ruiz, I think that's the second fight is going to be even more exciting because, you know, we always knew, but the casual fans already know what Ruiz brings to the table. Anthony Joshua obviously is going to come in. He's training harder. I hear he took a little bit of mess off so he can be quicker. I hear rumors that his tactics are going to be holding on more, throwing combinations, and jabbing from the outside, which are his best chances. And I hear from Ruiz's camp that they're going to come in. They're not going to change anything. They're going to make adjustments as the fight goes on, but Ruiz is still going to come in with the bang, and he's going to use his jab, fast combinations, and he's still going to continue to be aggressive.
Yeah. Well,
what's your prediction?
I still think Ruiz is going to take it. I think Ruiz is still going to be able to edge it out, whether it's by decision or hopefully another stoppage would be more in his favor, because if it does go to decision, I don't know if they'll give it to Ruiz second time around. We'll see. I mean...
Well, I'll tell you what. As I said earlier, a lot of aspects, a lot of politics as well involved. Ruiz was pushing back in not having the fight in the UK for the reason of, you know, being a close fight. Obviously, the decision with Joshua type of thing. So, you know, they came up with the deal. Let's have the fight in Saudi Arabia. On top of the fact that Saudi Arabia is paying a lot of money to have that event there. But that's closest to the UK. And I think the odds are still going to go to Joshua if it comes to a close decision of any kind.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that having the fight in Saudi Arabia is going to take that momentum away for the odds to go a little closer to Anthony Joshua. My prediction is, and like I said, my heart is to Andy Ruiz. And I really hope that he does pull it off and wins. But I just have a gut feeling that, you know, Joshua's going to win this fight, whether it's, you know, by knockout. If not, even if it's a controversial close decision, I think they're going to give it to Joshua. Either way, I feel like Joshua's going to probably get this win. And then here comes the politics of boxing. They're going to have a trilogy fight. And then, you know, in the trilogy fight, I guess the winner takes it for sure. So that is my prediction. I think Anthony Joshua wins, whether it's by KO. I'm not sure if it's going to be by KO or not. Most likely it is because they're both heavy fighters, heavy punchers. But even if it goes to decision, I think Anthony Joshua is going to probably get that decision. I hope I'm wrong because I'm a big Ruiz fan. And I do.
So you're saying Joshua most likely by knockout?
No, I'm saying most likely he's going to win. I'm not sure if it's going to be by knockout. I think it's 50-50 of a knockout. So whoever wins the fight, I think it's going to be 50-50%. Either side could knock each other out at any given time.
Yeah.
As they proved it in the first fight. Keep in mind, Joshua knocked down Ruiz in the third round. And then Ruiz came back and knocked him down about 4 more times until they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
So they're both big punchers. And if you blink, you'll miss the knockout. But I'm just saying that it's a 50-50 chance. Either one of them could get a knockout. But if it does not go to a knockout, most likely Joshua's going to get the decision, even if it's controversial. You know, the trilogy fights already manifested in the works. It's just going to happen. I'm not saying that this fight's going to be by any means, you know, fixed in any way to make that happen. I think it's going to be a real fight. It's just, I feel like there's so much interest in these fights that they're going to make a third one. There's a lot of money involved. And the fights are exciting. The fans want to see these guys fight.
True. I would prefer them to move on after this fight, though. I think if Ruiz takes it...
No, not if Ruiz doesn't win. No, we need a trilogy fight. We need a Mexican heavyweight.
Well, I think Ruiz is going to win, though, so...
Okay.
We'll see. But, I mean, there you have it, guys. That's the call from Duo Boxing Review.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon with another video. And
yeah, don't miss the fight. It's going to be this Saturday, November 7th on the Zone. I want to say that the fights are going to be earlier, being that it's in Saudi Arabia. So I don't have the exact time. I think it's going to be somewhere between 9 in the morning and 12 in the afternoon. So please make sure you follow up on that. Don't miss it. It's going to be, like I said, if you blink, you're going to miss the knockout. If there is a knockout. However, it's going to be a great fight. So don't miss it. We'll see you guys next time.
Ciao.
Boxing Review.